As a listing agent for over 29 years, there's a confession I need to make. Are you ready for it? Real estate agents, sellers, buyers, very guilty of this. Like it or not, here's what I've done up until about 6 months ago. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you can go ahead and add a little bit of price onto your market value. I'll give you a range, but if you want to add 10, 20, 30, $40,000 on top of that, that's fine. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. See what the market does, right? Let's give it a shot. Yes, I did that for years. I did it for years. I can tell you today, don't do that. Okay? The market has changed. The market's still fine. We're not falling off the side of the world, and things are still good. And I'm in Florida, and I can tell you we're still fine. Inventory sitting a little bit longer. That's the confession I make to you. Do I have that conversation differently now with my sellers? You better believe it. I've learned, the market has learned, the sellers are learning you can't overprice your home in today's market. You just can't do it. Now, you can if you want days in the market to go high, if you want your home to get stale, if you're not really in a hurry to move. I love that one too from home sellers too. Well, I'm just kind of testing the market out. I don't mind overpricing it. Okay, there's objections for all this. We're not really in a hurry. That's fine. If you're not in a hurry, we can aggressively price your home, but you're not going to be in a hurry because the market's not going to pay that. These are clarifying conversations that we're having to have in today's marketplace, which is fine. But the market is the market, right? What is somebody willing to pay for your home? That's what it's worth. Okay? So every time I go into a listing appointment, which I love, by the way, I love working with sellers, and we talk about a range, a low, a medium, a high, knowing that the high may take a little bit longer. The medium is right about the market value. The low side, maybe you want to come a little bit under market to move your home a little bit quicker. Again, why should you price your home correctly in today's market? This is absolutely a price-sensitive market that we're in. 100%. You got to know that. Now, let me say this as a caveat. I'm in Central Florida, so our market is a little bit different. I hear up in some of the northern states, your market is still gangbusters, right? So you're still getting multi-offers. There's still low inventory. There's really high demand. So that's awesome. So this means in the Central Florida market where I'm at, I'm in Lakeland, right between Tampa and Orlando, right dead in the middle, 1 hour to Tampa, an hour and 15 minutes to Orlando, depending on the traffic. But in Central Florida and even in Miami, which is a lot worse during this time, this is July of 2025, I know that homes are sitting on the market longer. Absolutely they are. So this is not a market where you can overprice your home. So why does pricing matter in this market? Here's 5 reasons. Number 1, first impressions matter. When you first put your home on the market, I'm going to say within the first 3 to 4 weeks, man, you will typically get your greatest amount of activity. Normally, if you're overpriced, the market is going to tell you. Here's one thing. If your home is not getting shown at all, even the real estate agents think it's overpriced. Okay? Period. If you're getting showings, if you're getting home tours, but you're not getting offers, right? That's always a good sign you're getting activity. But if you're not getting offers within, again, a little bit different for every market, 3, 4, 5 weeks, if you're not getting any offers, your home is still overpriced. You need to get realistic on your price, because if you're overpriced, sometimes buyers just skip over it completely. They don't want to have anything to do with it because they think it's out of their budget. They want to move on and find something more in their budget range. And so first impressions matter. Number 2, overpricing can lead to price reductions. They typically do. Homes that sit too long in the marketplace without any offers, again, you're going to have to do a price reduction. I had a conversation yesterday with a home seller. I just met with one today, wonderful dear couple, good friends of mine, and we slightly aggressively priced their home on the market, and the market is telling us it's not worth this. So we had a strategy with when we're going to reduce, strategically when we're going to reduce and how much we're going to reduce the next 2, call it month, with 2 price reductions. Very strategically. I love doing that. I brought market data. here's what's sold. It's over here. I'm not going to get up from the screen here, but we brought market data, what's sold during the month of May. Also what is sold up to date, price range, days in the market, inventory, what percent are you getting list to sell ratio, how many months worth of inventory is in your price range in today's marketplace. A lot of stats to look at. Gut, because as a real estate agent, we're in the market every day. We're looking at the hot sheet. In other words, what is active in the market, what's pending and what's sold. We're talking to buyers and sellers every day. We're in conversation. We have a good idea as a gut what their home is going to sell for. I can tell you, my business partner, us, the same way. So if you're overpricing your home, you're good. Number two, you're going to have some price reductions. Now, this often results in selling below what you could have received if you would have priced the home right from the start. When you price your home right, market value, what the market is really worth, you're not going to have to do a bunch of price reductions because the market is going to say, you priced your home right, I'm willing to pay for that. 100%. Now, our average price range here in Lakeland is about $350,000, $360,000, and homes that are priced in that wheelhouse, $350,000 to $360,000, $325,000, if they're priced right per square footage and condition and location, they're still selling fairly quick. A week, 2 weeks. Sometimes you're getting multi-offers. You're seeing a little bit of that, but not as much in this market. But sure, you're still seeing some of that. So number three is this. You got to know this, and I've been telling my home sellers this a lot. Buyers are more informed than ever. All the online platforms. I tell my home sellers, hey, buyers have access to Zillow, to Realtor.com, to Redfin, to Homes.com. They're all looking at these websites, and they're getting some ideas if your home is priced right. Before they're even contacting an agent, they're doing their homework. You can go on the county tax record to get an idea of certain different, parts of the home, not necessarily value, but tax assessment, square footage, what they paid for it, which really has nothing to do with what it's worth today. Unless they bought it 6 months ago, then that may reflect what you may be gauged to offer because they have no equity. So they're going to know if your listing is overpriced compared to similar homes. They're looking at the market. They can tell. Buyers aren't dumb, right? So buyers are more informed and educated. All the more reason you've got to price your home right in today's market. Buyers aren't dumb. They're informed. And if they have a good buyer's agent, a good real estate agent, they're really going to be informed because the other realtor is going to pull comparable sales to educate their buyers where this home should be priced. As a buyer's agent too, many times we have conversation with our buyers, and one thing to have the heart of a servant with them is say, hey, do you want me to pull up some comparables before you make an offer on that home? They say it's listed for $425,000. Let me pull up some solds in the last 3 to 6 months to make sure that home is indeed worth about that, what we're going to offer. Volunteer to do that. The data doesn't lie. The facts don't lie. The numbers don't lie. So number 3, buyers are more informed than ever. Number 4, longer time on the market is less leverage as a home seller. The longer your home sits on the market, you may get a good bit of activity at first, the first 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, then it starts to dip over time. Absolutely. Now, this market is a longer time on the market kind of market. That's a tongue twister here in Central Florida. So there's a little bit of a fine line there. But bottom line is the longer you're on the market, the less leverage you have as a home seller to negotiate. Buyers are going to come in with lowball offers. They're assuming you're getting desperate. Here's another thing we see, Mr. and Mrs. Home Seller. We see these investors. I get these emails all the time with these lowball wholesale, meaning investor offers. You may have a home that's priced at $450,000. They're going to send me an email saying they'll buy it at $310,000. I bet they will, right? They're looking for some desperate people. They're bottom fishers. Some of them will pay $310,000, $320,000 for it. They'll dump 30 or 40 into it, put some paint, carpet, landscaping, try to resell it for X. We see that all the time. But you can't really stop those guys. The longer you're on the market, the less leverage you have. And then number 5, proper pricing. When you really, really do price it right, it will attract multiple offers in many markets. A well-priced home today can attract some competitive bidding. Once in a while, this is not 2021 and 22, it can drive the price above asking price. Some of you are watching this in different markets going, man, that happens all the time in our market. That's awesome. We had some of that too. And we still can have some of that in certain price ranges. That's not the norm in today's market though. In today's market, if you're not priced right, you will sit and you will chase the market down. You will be looking for what somebody is willing to pay for your house. Price your house right, where your real estate agent, where your professional suggests for you to price your home. When you do that, you're going to save time, frustration. Because I don't know about you. I had this wonderful young dear couple in North Lakeland. They had 4 little small kids. Husband works a lot, just out of town, not far out of town, but he works out of town. Guess who gets to pick up that house and those kids every time a showing? And they were in the $325 price range. So I can tell you this, we had multiple showings. Do you think that really nice homemaker, that wife who is a full-time mom with 4 small kids, do you think she got a little weary after a week or two? Some of you are going after a showing or two. Yeah. But after a week or two? Yes. And I was just so empathizing with this wonderful family. I talked to the husband. He said, she's getting a little tired of all these showings. I said, man, she is a trooper. She is a warrior. I don't blame her. I mean, she's killing it to be able to get all these kids out of the house and show the home, leave it clean. And they've been so cooperative. We're in escrow right now. I'm hoping and praying that we will close here at the end of the month. But it's a lot. So it's not fun to have to get prepared to show your house. Do you remember selling your house at some point? Maybe you're not for sale right now. You're thinking about it. When you leave for work, man, we got to be all straightened up in the house. Everything's got to look good because we may have a showing when we're gone. Or we got to be ready for a showing. Yes, you do. You better if you want to sell your house. Don't leave stuff out all over the place. People aren't going to like that. It's not a good first impression. Price your home accordingly in today's market, and you will win. I promise you, you're going to win. So these are tough conversations we're having to have in today's marketplace, but by not having them, we're doing a disservice to our sellers, a disservice. We're not serving them like we should be serving them if we're not having these conversations about pricing your home in today's marketplace. It is a different market in 2025. Know that if you're not priced right, you will sit and you will chase the market down. So I hope this has helped encourage a realtor today, maybe put some realistic spin on today's market if you're a seller, if you're thinking about becoming one. I'd love to elaborate more and talk about the market. And maybe if you're thinking about selling, let's connect for a phone call. All my contact information is below. I would have to have a conversation with you and talk about your neighborhood, what your situation is. And if you're a real estate agent, let's connect. Let's talk some shop about real estate. We are at eXp Realty. We are an amazing, strong brokerage, growing leaps and bounds. Would love to tell you about eXp Realty and all that God is doing in the middle of this business. So, hey, here's the bottom line for today. Price your home correctly from the start. If you want it to sell faster, you want to make more money and with less stress. All right. Have a great day. God bless.